It's more than just coincidence. You look around and see the earth, the moon, the sun and the sky, a beautiful creation of Allah. So how could you deny?
How can you deny the oneness of Allah? Allahu Akbar. How can you deny the oneness of Allah? Allahu Akbar.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our show, The Philosophy of the Islamic Law. I am Ahmed Ragab, and we are honored today to welcome Professor Muhammad Naeem Saie, professor in several universities and a member of the Muslim Assembly jurist in North America, and a permanent member in the Fatwa Committee in America. Welcome, Dr. Muhammad. Today we will talk about the philosophy of the Islamic law in general. So we would like to ask Dr. Muhammad, what do you mean by the philosophy of the Islamic law?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا من لدنك علما واجعل هذا خالصا في سبيلك وابتغاء مرضاتك يا رب العالمين. Islamic law and the philosophy of this very special system Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made for these human beings to fit the whole mankind. It's been all the time thinking about this subject and writing about this subject. Philosophy, bringing back to the origin of this word, love of wisdom. What we're trying to do, we are in a very beautiful and joyful journey in searching for the mysteries, for the beauties, for the aims and the goals. And silver and the gold are a very valuable treasure Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent to this earth through His law, through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We find this Islamic law in his book subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the sunnah of his messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are trying to focus, concentrate, and finding out purpose, meanings, such of fiqh issues. We try to bring this issue to its original understanding of the Muslim scholars. Very briefly, let our work to be focusing on the meanings, on the mysteries, secret of these fiqh issues. So this is maybe very briefly the meaning of philosophy of Islamic law. Sometimes they call it, Muslim scholars long time ago, maqasid al-Sharia, the aims and the goals of legislations of this Islamic law. Yes.
Why did you choose to talk about the Islamic law, the philosophy of the Islamic law?
Yes. Well, I'm in a very noble mission, as every Muslim in this world, in this century, is trying to do so, bringing back Islam again. All of us, as I said on different occasions, that we are the holders of the banners of renewing, reviving this Islam. One of the means to bring this Islam back to Muslims first, before we present it to others, is to bring the real understanding of this deen. By just only memorizing or maybe learning the fiqh issues without focusing on the meanings of these fiqh issues, not be able to understand.
Excuse me, do you mean by fiqh in English the knowledge?
Fiqh means law.
Law.
Yes. Jurisprudence. So we have to understand the meanings of this Islamic law. Now, the benefit of studying this very comprehensive subject, you cannot specify it or maybe corner them in one corner, or maybe stop talking about them or give enough time to explain. It's multi of benefit that Muslims, all the viewers, all audience, listeners can be benefiting from watching this series. One, I believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the same way He commanded us to look around in this beautiful universe to find out the greatness of the Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala, to touch scientifically the mysteries of His creation, and this powerful made by Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to be the road of knowing Him, believing in Him, getting closer to Him, loving Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I'm serious when I'm talking about this. I believe by studying this Islamic law that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in this Islamic law, not less science and signals and miracles to show you that this is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you can believe in Him Azza wa Jal stronger and better, and you are able to get closer to Him. The same way the physician, someone in the field of chemistry or physics or engineering, or maybe that kind of person is going in that space shuttle, seeing all these stars and saying by his own cells, Subhanallah, without announcing this because he is not a Muslim maybe, but at the same time, the one who is giving his effort and his energy to search about these meanings within and through the Islamic law, he will say from time to time, when he is studying the fiqh issues in the maybe book of worshipping, or the section of worshipping, or section of maybe dealing with others, he will say from time to time, La ilaha illallah. This is not man-made law. This is Allah-made law, subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Subhanallah. And from this point, I can see that even those scientists and the doctors who can, they focus on their science and they see the miracles of Allah, and that's impossible, this creation can be created without the Creator. But the benefits of studying the Sharia law, it can be for everybody. Anybody can study it. I mean, everybody can read and see the benefits of it. But in medicine, only doctors can see these miracles.
Yes.
Am I right about this?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's why I said one of the benefits of bringing this program to the viewers, that we are 100% believing that this will be benefiting, inshallah ta'ala, not only Muslims, will be benefiting even non-Muslims. If they just pass by this program or this series by any mean, listen to some of these secret and mysteries and goals and aims, wisdoms of this Sharia, but to say, well, this is not something to came out of a human beings. It's something should be and has to be from the creator of this universe. When we talk about the wisdoms of fiqh issues, Islamic law issues regarding marriage, regarding divorce, some people, they have to say, La ilaha illallah. There's no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I believe in Allah and I would like to become a Muslim through just understanding the meaning of this hukum.
Inshallah.
So this is my belief, inshallah, that they would be benefiting, inshallah, Muslims and non-Muslims at large, inshallah. Maybe the third point of making this program or talking about this subject, this originally a very comprehensive sessions to be given to a student in a class room in university's college. Would like to transfer this to the audience, to the viewers, so they are able to relax while they are sitting at their own homes. They are able to benefit from these very comprehensive sessions. The other fourth point, all of us as a Muslims, we want it or not, we feel it or not, we are the carrier. We are the carriers of this deen, of this Islam. We are du'at ila Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are the cores for this deen. Even as I said, sometimes we don't feel it. Sometimes we don't maybe aim it. But it is our mission. And I used to say to Muslims everywhere, especially those that are living in the Western countries, do you think that you are in Britain or France or maybe Sweden or America just to make more money or to have maybe better job or better education? Well, Allah did send you to these Western countries. The Sahaba, they have spread it all around the world by their intention, by their own way. They did choose that to spread al-Islam. In this century, when Muslims, they are a little bit short of having the same understanding of the responsibility of carrying on the mission of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah made it by His own subhanahu wa ta'ala. Will send you everywhere by different intention, by different missions. But while you are there, you are carrying the same mission because you are Muhammad and Ahmed and Zaid. You are a Muslim. So it's better to you, it's better for you, if you are that in that status, to have a good merchandise to be able to provide it to others.
MashaAllah.
And as I said in different occasions, those salesmen or salesmen, if you are a salesman, you are marketing for this very luxury car, Rolls Royce, Bentley, but you don't know anything about this car, just the shape, just the color, maybe just the name, maybe the price. You are not able to to market this valuable car. You have the most valuable things in this universe. You have the Islamic law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Subhanallah.
So if you are able to know what you are carrying with you, will be better marketers for this product.
MashaAllah, very educational. We will go for a quick break, so please stay with us and we will talk more about the philosophy of the Islamic law.
How can you deny the oneness of Allah? Allahu Akbar.
Our schools, what is missing? Join Dr. Mamdoor Muhammad in Our Schools, What is Missing? He will be discussing the most common mistakes made in our educational systems.
What type of teaching they teach him, what they say to him, what books they select for him to read, what things that he listens to, what games that he begins to play with.
How to perfect the work in the school.
Our goal is to improve our school.
And we'll see practical solutions from the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of His Messenger.
Most of the criteria for success for us had been designed for us by our Creator.
Our Schools, What is Missing? In Ramadan on Huda TV.
How can you deny the oneness of Allah? Allahu Akbar.
Welcome back. We were talking about the philosophy and the benefits of talking about the philosophy of the Islamic law. And mashallah, Professor, you were very informative about it. So would you please tell us who is qualified to talk about the philosophy of the Islamic law? We hear from time to time people saying fatwas, people talk about the Islamic law, people give different point of views regarding the Sharia. So can you please tell us who we should listen to and what are the qualifications that we need to look for before we start listening to people that talks about this issue?
Very important questions. If you allow to me, just before I come to the point of your question, to discover little point. It's very important about the benefit of studying the philosophy of Islamic law, if you allow me. Jazakallahu khairan. At the same time, I would like to make a very strong call for Muslims, wherever they are, that you might hear from time to time this kind of modern wave coming from different sources, calling for beautifying al-Islam, as if Islam is not beautiful enough. Islam does need some kind of makeup, some of maybe cosmetic surgeries to make it appeal to others. Well, by studying this philosophy of the Islamic law, we'll know for sure, inshallah ta'ala, that our Islam, because it is Allah law, it is God-made law, it is beautiful by itself. It's good by itself. It's perfect by itself. But maybe the defect that's come from those who they are representing this Islam to others. Sometimes because shortage of understanding, sometimes because shortage of practicing, sometimes of combination of understanding and practicing. But sometimes they have the understanding, they had the practicing, but they lost the spirit of this deen. They disconnected themselves from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by knowing that this deen should not be represented to others unless you have very strong relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you are on behalf. You are talking on behalf of this deen. So you have to connect yourself with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so bring what they call it al-ikhlas, the sincerity. The Sahaba, radiallahu ardahum, they have all these package. Good understanding, good practicing. We don't say about perfect. Perfect understanding, yes. Good practicing, but they have al-ikhlas, the sincerity. Allah opened the gate of the east and the west for them, radiallahu anhu ardahum. So by studying this Islamic law and the philosophy of it, will bring to the others the fact that our deen, our Islam, is so beautiful. There's need from the representative, from the carriers, to beautify themselves before they carry this Islam. But Islam by itself does not need this beautification. The other point is very important. We know as a fact in our time, many factors have played a big role of disregarding the Islamic law from the theater of our life. Tatbiq al-Sharia, judging, ruling by the Islamic law. And sometimes it does sounds very scary, right?
Yes, of course, especially in the West, when they hear this word Sharia, they freak out.
Right?
Yes.
So that they have very reservation, and even using that term, Sharia.
Yes.
It comes many occasions with the feeling of
harshness,
right?
Hardship.
Subhanallah.
Yeah.
Yes. So we'd like to tell the others that, look, this one of the miracle of this deen. Even our Islam is being disregarded and being in the shape of the absence, intentionally and on purpose, but still is able to work out is able by that kind of self-energy Allah has put in it, subhanahu wa ta'ala, to come out with a significant and remarkable result on its people. They are practicing it, and even surrounding, subhanallah, because you live in the West, right?
Yes.
I live in the West, I'm still living in the West. You could feel that even this Islam is not being allowed to present itself completely and perfectly, but still able to bring to others remarkable and significant result, not just affecting, not just benefiting Muslims are practicing it, but even those that are surrounding these people in the West. So everyone would say this is something abnormal, this is enormous result, does not come from the law being made by human beings. So by studying this Islamic law and studying its philosophy, that will bring to the people this kind of very beautiful and peaceful and beautiful call. People, Muslims, please come back to your Islam, handle this deen, carry it, and present it to others, because everyone in need to that. I just remember the book of Imam Hassan Nadwi rahimahullah ta'ala, when he said ماذا خسر العالم بانحطاط المسلمين, how much world have lost by having Muslims a backward people, because they are not pressing their deen.
Yes,
so this is like a very maybe a quick message or call from this program to Muslims, that come back to your deen.
Yes.
Understand it, practice it, represent to others, inshallah.
So who are the ones who are qualified to speak about the philosophy of the Islamic law? Like who we should listen to, who we should not listen to?
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. As I said, very good question. Let me just make it very simple. Suppose that you are in a trip to visit a very amazing park, and you don't know anything about this park, but you heard about it. They advertised for it, and they tried to bring everyone to see this remarkable or very beautiful park, and someone was at the gate of that park to give you some brochures, or maybe to guide you to tour this park. Suppose the people in charge of this park mistakenly brought someone else who has no idea about this park. How he is able to convince you or to explain to you? How is he able to give you some details about the well-designed park, the well-organized park? He's ignorant. He does not know. Maybe he will try by touring with you to see some beauties, yes. He will be able by his own sense maybe to get some idea about some beauty, some meanings, but he is not the expert person to guide you or to tell you or to explain to you. So we could say, very simply, those who they are allowed or eligible to talk about philosophy, Islamic law, Muslim scholars, fuqaha, jurisprudence, they are in very well knowledge about what they are carrying. So after they have know this Sharia or this Islamic law in very close working and practicing and thinking, they are able now to put their hand on that beautiful and maybe mysterious meanings on some of these Islamic fiqh issues. So we say that no one should talk about philosophy in Islamic law unless he is from the field of Islamic law. Like, I think in your field, you are in education field, right?
Yes.
No one can talk about how you educate kids in a first grade, second grade, what is the best maybe tools or maybe meaning to educate them or to try to lift their level. At least he is in that field.
This is true.
Yes.
This is true. Actually, I have two questions who are too close to each other. Some people get trapped or tricked. They see someone wear a beard, wear the Islamic clothes, which the traditional Arabic clothes, and he mentions some verses and some hadith, and they think that he's a scholar. While how we would know that, or distinguished between someone who is religious and someone who is a scholar?
Subhanallah. Exactly.
Because this can be a big trap.
Yes.
And there is a difference between a righteous person who is trying his best to get knowledge, so he's still in the stage of a student of knowledge, so he cannot give any point of view of any philosophy, Islamic law, and the other one who is a scholar who can give his own point of views. Am I right about this?
Yes, exactly, mashallah. Your question is so beautiful, mashallah ta'ala. I think the viewers will be very happy listening to you asking these questions. Could this open, always I said that the question is a key of piece of information or knowledge. As in the, all of us, we believe that in the medical field, doctors, recognized doctors, medical doctors are able to talk about medical issues. Engineers who are in the field of engineering, they are able to talk about engineering issues. And it has to be recognized by such institute, college, universities, has several kind of maybe certificate, diplomas. In our modern time, we cannot just give a visa, open visa for anyone to talk about Islam in details or to talk about comprehensive issues in Islam, whether that was in the fiqh, Islamic law issues, or philosophy of these Islamic law issues. He has to be a recognized Muslim scholars, and he has to be in the field of Islamic law. The appearance of this person does not make any difference. We don't say that is a one condition of Muslim scholar to be appeared with this kind of type of dressing. I did put in my book Al-Jami' fi al-Qawa'id wa-Dawabit al-Fiqhiyya, a very important foundation in fiqh. I did make a distinction between what was on his time alayhi salam to be known as practice from the Prophet alayhi salam to be followed by others, مكان صاحب الاستنان والتشريع, so it's being said to be part of the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, or to be part of his own environment and his own custom, traditional way of dressing.
MashaAllah.
Yes.
MashaAllah. Unfortunately, that's all what we have today. We don't have enough time to complete this very interesting topic. MashaAllah, Professor Muhammad, you were very educational to us, and we thank you very much for being with us. Please join us for next episode. Inshallah, we will continue talking about the philosophy of the Islamic law. So please join us and to learn more about this very, very interesting and educational topic. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's more than just coincidence. You look around and see the earth, the moon, the sun and the sky, a beautiful creation of Allah. So how could you deny?
How can you deny the oneness of Allah? Allahu Akbar. How can you deny the oneness of Allah? Allahu Akbar.